Let's see. We've had them on here for a week and they're sprouting. The new microgreens kit is working out well, and it's shipping even better now and more contained, and we're getting better. It's a nice deep tray, and we have a top for it so that way you can germinate and sprout your seeds a lot better, a lot faster without having to water, getting the mold and bacteria on there. You can use a little hydrogen peroxide in here. Wow, look at that, starting to sprout already. Do you already grow kitchen herbs like rosemary, mint, basil, and oregano? Do you like having a small garden with lettuces and tomatoes growing right outside of your front door? Then you'll want to start growing this one herb that I'm about to reveal because it's a superfood. And you could begin growing it on your own kitchen table this summer. Most people think they need a lot of space to grow this one herb, but that's simply not true. Don't miss out on this opportunity to grow the most nutritious plant that grows on land. I promise that if you watch this entire video tutorial, you'll unlock a whole new understanding of how to grow your own food at home. There's so many people that want to get their hands on this one herb to grow for themselves, but just don't know how to do it. Not too many Americans have had the chance to even taste this one herb yet for themselves. And that's because it's mostly grown overseas in subtropical and tropical regions. But now that it's summer, you can grow this one herb practically anywhere in the United States. Don't miss out on this opportunity to grow this one herb this summer. Here is your chance to taste this fresh herb right from the source. I've been growing this one herb for over 10 years and only recently discovered this new method of growing. I can help save you years of trials and tribulations with this method of growing. There's no other place on earth that you'll be able to learn this information. So make sure to subscribe to this Grow Moringa YouTube channel and also like this video. You'll be receiving many, many more tips. You could spend the next several years wondering how others are able to enjoy fresh moringa greens while you only have powder from the shelf. My students are amazed at the results. They can pick fresh moringa greens and put them right into their favorite soups and salads. Continue watching this tutorial on how to grow moringa microgreens with this kit of parts. And once you're done, order your own Moringa Microgreens Kit from the description below. Let's go through all the steps on how you can grow your very own Moringa Microgreens Kit now. Now, moringa trees really do love full sun, but these trees are very young. They're babies, they're in pots, and so they don't really have the full protection of the earth to keep them cool. It's also really, really hot. So I have been keeping these babies under the tree back there where I showed you where I'm sprouting that other kit. And now that they're coming out into the sun, they're getting a little bit stressed out. They're starting to wilt over a little bit. This actual kit right here, I think, is a little bit older. I'm trying to see which one's older because I sprouted these even a couple weeks apart from each other. Looks like this one might actually be the older one. This one might actually be the newer one. But either way, what I'm going to do to just use and eat these kits and eat the greens is I'm going to go ahead and just start popping tops. Now you can pop tops below the first stem or above the first stem. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and just bring all these babies back pretty short. Now, if the stem dies and it starts up a whole new stem, that's quite all right. But this way now, I have fresh greens that I can put in my salads, just like this. And that's what's so great about this kit is that it's not a one and done. Here, I'll show you an example of what I mean by cutting it above the first stem. So like right now, we're cutting pretty much these ones here below the first stem, which means, I should say, the first leaflet or the first sprout. These first leaves that came out, what you can do is you can cut it above that and it will resprout a whole new stem. I shouldn't say a whole new stem, because I cut it up here above, it's going to sprout new stems from those points right there. Do you see those little hairs right there? It's actually going to sprout from that moment right there. Okay. Now, since I cut below those moments, a lot of these stems will die back and it'll grow the seed will grow a whole new stem from below the soil. So I've got a whole nother round here that this microgreen kit is not done. I can actually set this aside. It actually brought in more light. These ones will be less crowded, and it also allows it to aerate now. Same with this one. This one actually is a lot lighter. It looks to be a little bit drier. This one's a little bit wet. It might have been outside a little bit longer. This one I might have just brought in, took some pictures of it. I can tell it's a little bit drier because the leaves are beginning to wilt a little bit more. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this up. This is kind of like the maintenance of your kit. I think with this one, I'm going to decide to just cut more. So, I mean, if they're tall like that, I'm just going to cut below it. A lot of these are tall, like this one's short, that one's short. You can kind of decide where you want to cut them. If you want to cut them below the first leaf, or you want to cut it above the first leaf. If you cut it above the first leaf, it'll resprout from the first leaf. If you cut it like here, this one, I'm going to cut it above the first leaf here, and it's not necessarily going to grow a whole new stem. It's actually going to regrow new stems from those moments right there. So just keep those leaves on it for now. Like this one here looks like it's really drying up. I'm going to get these babies watered here. But this is the benefit of having your very own Moringa Microgreens kit, is being able to eat fresh greens like this from your own kitchen. So enjoy your Moringa Microgreens kit. Grab yours today. I'm going to actually take these yellow leaves off so you can enjoy this as well in your own home. Let's go ahead and get this baby watered. Now what I'll do to water it is I will pull it out. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Nice. Look at all those roots down in there. Isn't that nice? Oh, yeah. So I'll go ahead and get this baby watered, and that's pretty much it. Look how much fresh greens we just got. We can put this in a smoothie. We can juice this. We could actually dry these and make loose leaf. And this is a really great product that you could even package as a fresh green. I'll actually get the package for you. You can see exactly how we package fresh greens. And this is how easy that you can package fresh Moringa microgreens for the farmer's market. Just like this, the shoots and everything are very valuable to use and eat. So we put them right here in a little package. You can weigh it. I've got a little moisture absorber pad inside there. And then boom. You got yourself a nice little fresh Moringa greens package. You could sell this for a couple bucks at the farmer's market. You can get into stores and have yourself a little route that you put together to sell fresh Moringa greens, just like this. Look at that. And this is how you can start a little Moringa microgreens business. Get a couple of these trays growing. They like to be in the shade, sprouted in the shade, and you can bring them out And these will resprout. So keep in touch as we continue to grow these Moringa Microgreens kits. You can grab yours today. This is now the new Moringa Microgreens kit. No sprouting mat, comes with the powder, the extract, the seeds, the perlite, and everything that you need to get going. These trays are really, really great. They're deeper, there's more holes, and they have really great drainage. Thanks a lot for watching and grabbing yourself a Moringa Microgreens kit today. Thank you. Let's put together our very own Moringa Microgreens kits. It's going to come in the mail just like this. And when you receive it, everything is in a kit of parts. So everything is separated. So it's going to come with your very own biostimulant powder, as well as your very own biostimulant extract, as well as 100 seeds to get sprouted, as well as the perlite that's really going to help you with drainage, as well as our very, very special trays that we've been developing just for this kit. And we have USDA certified organic composted soil inside that you'll really, really love. It's a sandy base, and moringa grows really well in this soil. But more importantly, what we've changed and upgraded with this kit from the last one is that we have a deeper tray. It's a little bit more small and compact. That way, when you're moving it around, it doesn't really affect the root systems as much. There's a lot more holes, and the holes are bigger, which is great for drainage. And this is what's really important. What we noticed as an upgrade from the last kit is that before we were putting sprouting mats in the bottom, and we would just want to reassure you to not put a sprouting mat in the bottom of this kit. You just need soil, the biostimulant, and the extract and the powder to be able to fertilize your moringa seeds, and you'll be good to go from there. Also, what's really cool is that it comes with a lid. It's its own sprouting biodome. So I've had a really great success getting our kit sprouted with this biodome. So that's why we're now choosing this style tray, which is also made from recycled plastic. And it's also a lot hardier and sturdier, so you can use this over and over and over again. And so we have one with holes and one without holes. So that way when you get the soil in there and you put your tray on top and you water, it doesn't just make a mess on your kitchen table. All right, so the first thing you'll want to do when you get your seeds is you'll want to soak these overnight in the biostimulant. So let's go ahead and begin to soak these seeds. Now that we have a bowl of water, we can begin to soak our seeds overnight, and this process is known as inoculating. There's 100 moringa seeds inside here, USDA certified organic moringa seeds, and we're going to soak them overnight so that way they get that much needed vitamins and minerals and food and microorganisms to tap into that shell to help them to sprout a lot easier. So inside here, we have moringa biostimulant extract made from moringa leaves. Now this is a concentrate form. This entire bottle can be used on 1 gallon. Now inside here, we really only have maybe a couple cups. So I'm just going to put a couple squirts of this biostimulant in here. You can see that we're just squirting a little bit in there. Not much, doesn't need much. And then we'll stir it up. So that way those can soak overnight. And we'll come back and continue putting together our microgreens kit. This is going to ensure that they have a much better success rate, germinating a lot faster. They're going to germinate a lot faster. Now here we are about to be into the full summer season, and they're already going to sprout within 6 days. Well, here, with this way, you could get them to sprout in 4 to 5 days even. Now, if you're doing this microgreens kit in, say, like the fall or the winter, it may take 10 to 15 days to even get these kits to sprout. But either way, when you inoculate the seeds like this, they're going to increase the germination rate, increase the time in which they do begin to sprout, and that's because they're getting some of that microorganisms and vitamins and minerals soaked into the seed, into the shell. Now, let's put together our organic composted soil. So we're going to mix all the ingredients together, and all of these things come with the kit. So we've got a good 1.5 pounds of soil in here. We're going to go ahead and dump that into the bowl here, so that way we can mix it up. And we'll just set that aside. Here is our biostimulant powder. This is USDA certified organic moringa powder. It's been tested, there's no heavy metals, and it's very high in vitamins and minerals. And you don't need the whole box or the whole bag, and there is also a spoon in here. But what I'd like to do is go ahead and put a large, at least maybe 1/4 to 1/2 of this in here to really give some of the vitamins and minerals into the soil. Because the soil that I'm giving you is really just a base. And it's not really technically alive. It's just been in a bag. And so we're going to be giving it the iron, the magnesium, the selenium, the sulfur, all the little things that the moringa powder has for the body, for humans. It's also helping to put into the soil as well for the plants. And so we're just going to mix this around really good. The perlite that I just added in there, those little white pellets, those are to help increase the drainage ability of the soil. All right. We could even put a little bit of this biostimulant in there as well, just to kind of moisten it up a little bit. Yeah, don't need much. It's a concentrate. A little bit goes a long way. Well, mixing that really well. And even just going ahead and putting it in here helps to mix it too. So we're going to use the one with holes in it. And we'll just start mixing that in. The perlite really helps for the drainage. The holes really help for the drainage. Let's go ahead and just start dropping that in like that. Very nice. And you're going to have plenty of soy here, even over time. If you left some over, you could even, over time, begin to top your kit with more soil in case you need to over time. But I'm going to go ahead and mostly use it. Put a little bit more powder in here. I like to really load it up. You're giving it extra proteins, microorganisms. This is really the, the powder is really the conditioner. We're conditioning the soil. And the liquid extract is really the activator. All right. So now let's go ahead and take our seeds that have been soaking overnight, and we'll put them right here in the kit. Now we don't want to waste this water. So I'm going to go ahead and put our trusty tray without holes here, so that way nothing leaks out the bottom. I'm going to spread these seeds out just like this, as you guys can see very well that we're just spreading it out. Very nice. And then we can put a little bit of soil on top of that. Doesn't need to be much. But this sprouting mat really, or this sprouting dome really helps to keep the moisture in. You want to bury it. The rule is you want to bury your seed as big as it is deep. So as deep as it is big, I should say. So you want to bury your seed about 1/2 inch, even to like 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch. Say something like kale or sesame or little things like lettuces. They can just be thrown right on the soil and they'll sprout just by putting right on the soil. Moringa seeds are a little bit bigger, so they need to be kind of buried just a little bit, not much. You can see here we have a little bit of extra soil too. Not a problem. We can hold on to this or use this in other pots. And even over time as these sprout, like even right here with this kit right here, like I could always put some more soil down in this kit like this. because over time it just settles and it gets more compact. And so that's why it's good to just always have a little bit of extra soil too. So from here, let's go ahead and water these baby in. You already got the biostimulant in here. Nothing goes to waste. And that'll soak up really well. Believe it or not, that's all you really need to get this baby started, because now that that's in there, we can put the dome right on top. Now you want to set this in the shade. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and set this actually right over here. This is where I sprouted all the other kits. Just like this right here. I just had it sitting right here and it sprouted. And over a couple of weeks, maybe a day, I should say over the course of say like 1 week, you'll start to see little things. Then by the time they form little leaflets, you can go ahead and pull this off. And throughout the week, there may be other times where you water it a little bit more, but since they've already been soaking overnight, there's already lots of moisture in there. You could do this on your kitchen table, but even bringing it outside to where it's warm, and see how that's going down in there. But see, that's going to continue to soak up. The soil is going to continue to soak that up because it's sitting down in there like that. That's why we made that perfectly, just like that. You can see I got 3,000 little seedlings sprouting right here, just like that in the kit. So now it's time to water our microgreens kit after they've sprouted. The dome has already now been on here for a few days. These are very, very close to being sprouted. And if it starts to form any kind of hairs or mold or bacteria starting to form in here, you can always do a light hydrogen peroxide spray. Just light hydrogen peroxide, that usually helps to kill anything. If it forms hairs or anything like that. You can also just open it up and aerate it for a little while and let that dry out a little bit and then get it back on there. Mostly what this dome is for is so that way you're not having to water every day on the surface. You kind of want the surface to be somewhat dry, and you really just want the moisture to not evaporate from within. So we've already watered this microgreens kit in. This one here is really dry. So now what we want to do is we want to use the biostimulant extract that came with your kit. So let's go ahead and fill this up with water and also our biostimulant, so that way we can use this solution together. So we have about 1 liter of water here, and the biostimulant extract that comes in your kit can be put into an entire gallon. Now the thing is that this is already at a concentrate form, and you don't want to incorporate the water or create your solution unless you're going to use it all at once. The reason why is because there's enough food inside this bottle to keep the microorganisms alive. As soon as you pour this in here with water, they're not going to have enough food. There's just too much water per food. So that's why this is actually devoid. It might be a liquid, but it's not necessarily water. It has been condensed down into a slurry, an extract of the moringa leaves, condensed and preserved in this bottle with food for the microorganisms. So what you want to do is use a couple of drips. If anything, this is 4 ounces in the bottle. So maybe just use about 1 ounce, right? So you just want to use about 1 ounce inside here. For me, it's not much of an exact science, but it's just enough to bring in some much needed microorganisms, the food that will help to keep these moringa trees growing. And you can use this on anything. This works really well on any plant. At first, started growing, I was like, I don't need that. But over time, I'm realizing to make my life a lot easier, to make the health of the trees a lot easier, and all the other plants that I grow, this is a really great resource to have and to use. So this 4 ounce bottle can make an entire gallon. If you're going to mix it, then use it all at once. You can save the rest of this and just use this for now. So I'm just going to water this in now. And that's all it takes, is just adding a little bit of water in here. We'll even water this one a little bit, even though this one's a little bit more wet. Now I have the dome sitting upside down in here to also help capture some of the water. This one here also, your kit is going to come with a tray that does not have holes like this. You can see there's water in there, there's probably some in there. You can also use that to bring that back up to the top. Nothing goes to waste. It's going to keep recycling, keep nutrifying. Now here, what I'll do is I'll make sure to water all my other plants with this. I'm not going to let this sit in here. I have let this sit for a couple days before, open it up, woo, and it'll be foul. It won't be good. It won't be fresh. It goes anaerobic. And so let's go ahead and just water the other plants with it. I'll get other things watered. This will be fine. This will be fine for at least 1 year to 2 years, just like this, if you have it in a cool, dry place. And you can continue to use this on your microgreens kit for weeks and weeks and weeks. There's also even little sprouts still coming up in here. So not all the seeds even sprouted right away. I can see that there's little sprouts even just coming up down below. There's 100 seeds in here. So it's just going to keep producing lots and lots of beneficial microgreens. So enjoy and grab your Moringa Microgreens Kit today so you can have fresh greens on your own kitchen table. Peace, love, and prosperous growing. So let's go ahead and pot these babies up into the raised beds together. It kind of clumps up like this. And I can pull them out really carefully like this. Just going down slightly, getting the roots in there slightly, just enough, and then I can come through and water and keep them wet as they push their roots further down. Look, there's already a little tuber starting to form here, which is nice. Lots of mulch right here. Got to get her into some soil. Don't really want the mulch too much around the little stem, but you've got to get it to stand up still. Really nice soil. These trees are getting a good home. I'm really excited for this spring season. I've been doing lots of planting. Here we are about 30 days, 40 days or so after planting the microgreens from the kit into the raised bed. And you can see they're doing really, really well. They came back really nicely. Just need to do a little bit of weeding. But these are from the microgreens kit. This right here, just after 2 months, look at this. Just after 2 months, look how big that is. Already got wood on it down there. This little grasshopper. What's up, Salvador? Another bed of the microgreens kit is here. I just weeded this bed, and these are about 30, 60 days or so from the microgreens kit. Not every single one of them made it, but at the same time, after doing some weeding, they now have some aeration, so like those are falling over, but they got some wood on them, and they probably got some really nice big tubers down in there, and I'll continue to harvest these trees, pop the tops all throughout the summer, and eventually these ones here I plan on using as mature trees on the website to sell as large mature trees as they continue to grow wood. They have more space. Lovely. This one came back really thick. So I'm excited to list the mature trees back on the website as we get a little bit further in through the season. It's still early right now. We're getting lots of orders for microgreens kits, tubers, and eventually we'll have mature trees back on the website, so stay tuned. Thanks for watching. I feel like y'all really unlocked a whole nother level of overstanding with this video, because now you have a clear example to see exactly how you could begin to grow moringa at scale in a very, very small space. For a very limited time, we also have a special now on our new microgreens kit, where if you buy 2, you can get 1 for free. Look at this one from our video is already starting to get really nicely humidified inside. They're sitting in there and they're going to be sprouting here in just a few more days. So I'm going to leave it just like this. And what's really great is that these new kits fit in a normal size tray. So you can get 3 of these, but then being able to move them around, have the ability to sell them individually like this. You can repackage this and resell this at the farmer's market already sprouted to people. So this is a great way to get started. We've got 300 trees just in this very small space, and they all have their own room. And from here, once these get a little bit bigger, I'll go ahead and get these ones out into the ground and out into another area of the farm. I really appreciate you for watching and learning so much of this information with me today. If you're missing anything in your journey, you're more than welcome to grab a copy of my book. The ebook is now available, and also a physical paperback version is also available as well. Please subscribe to the Grow Moringa YouTube channel and like this video for more moringa content. And I'll be back shortly with our next update. Peace, love, and prosperous growing. Ciao.